Hey. I am so excited to be here chatting with you. This is actually completely impromptu. I'm sitting down to write emails and my mind is going a million different ways and I knew it'd be so much easier to share this way because I know I'm going to get rambly. And so basically, if you don't want the rambly real life version, um, you can read whatever I end up with for an email kind of summary about this. Um, but this is basically updates. This is real life, what's going on. I'm actually, well, first of all, I'm limited on time because Minnie is sleeping and we will see when he wakes up. I'm dressed because we're going to go to I'm not, I'm always dressed. I'm wearing these clothes specifically and not looking ready for a video because we are going to the library in an hour and a half to do a painting event. Um, I'm excited because it's going to be Minnie's first time painting. I've been like kind of wanting to do uh, painting with him, but like also a little bit nervous. Like I feel like it's just going to be a big, huge kind of disaster and mess. But this way, I only have to clean up part of the mess and I don't have to get all the supplies together and everything. So anyway, so I'm wearing clothes that I don't care if they get paint all over them, essentially, is the point there. Anyway, um, oh boy, so it's already been almost a month, 3 weeks or something since my last email, which is bananas. But also it makes sense because essentially, this month was supposed to be me talking a lot about marketing stuff. Um, and I have like the whole plan put together. I'd started creating content. I not started creating the emails. Um, Started creating some Instagram posts, which I haven't been on Instagram forever. And obviously, those, if you're on Instagram, you know that I haven't posted. Those haven't gotten up. Um, Also, FYI, if I post this on my YouTube channel, this is, I guess I'll identify it as a podcast episode instead. Um, this is about the full circle entrepreneurship side of my business. This is not about the knitting pattern side, although I might do another video for that side. Because this format is actually something that I've wanted to do for my email list for a long time because I so much prefer, even though I do enjoy writing, I like once I get into it, I like, all the, I just ramble like I do on audio, but it just takes me so much longer to get to a point where I like it. And then I kind of get lost in or I'm concerned that when I'm rambling, the point gets lost. Where in a video, that doesn't, and like audio podcasting, that's why I love podcasting so much. Um, it's okay to go on these tangents. It's okay in email too, but like when I'm wanting my audience to actually take away stuff, I don't know. Anyway, the whole point is several years now and I've told my clients, I'm like, hey, if video is the thing that works for you, figure out a way to do video in your emails and do that instead of, doing a newsletter thing. But I do enjoy writing, and I think that's part of why I keep doing it. Um, but yeah, maybe especially now that I don't have as much time, I don't know why I'm like, hey, let's just do this. I can pull a transcript from it and create an email that way. And yeah, I've literally even talked about this on the podcast before. So maybe even during when I was pregnant, or right after like maternity leave time. I think I literally talked about this very thing. So anyway, maybe this is welcome to a new era. Um, okay. So, I'm supposed to be talking all about marketing this month because right now is supposed to be the first day of a challenge um, to help knitting pattern and crochet pattern designers sell their patterns, specifically around storytelling and what stories to tell, because I always have a list of millions of ideas. Okay, that might be exaggeration, but 100 is not an exaggeration, I'm sure, um, of ideas for folks. And anytime people like I share it with them, they're like, "Oh my goodness, like I totally never saw it this way. Like this makes so much sense. Like I can see how I can pull 20 different ideas from this for each of my patterns or whatever." Um, So that's supposed to be a free challenge starting today. And because I didn't have all the marketing done, or like because I hadn't been, leading up to it, I decided not to start it and all of that. And it's because Minnie got sick before we went on vacation. Well, yeah, I guess it was vacation. Uh, Visiting my family. So I had a sick kid and then was traveling and seeing family. And I always have this idea that I'm going to work while I'm gone. And I was like, my family can watch Minnie and it'll be great. He'll be having fun and I can get some work in. And I got there and I was like, no, I just really feel like what I'm supposed to do is just be here and enjoy it and not worry about the work. So that's what happened. And yeah, now we've been back for a week, I think. Um, Getting back into the groove, lots of sleep issues, uh, planning a first birthday party, and all of the things. Anyway, so all of that to say, things have not been going to plan. That is why you have not received an email for the last couple of weeks. Um, and yeah, so then I had decided kind of separately, but then created them into the same plan that this at the end of this month, I will be raising prices to Pattern Design Circle. I'll be completely honest, I haven't decided if I'm going to keep that deadline or not, but right now, Pattern Design Circle is only $9 a month or $99 a year, which is bananas. Because you get coaching support from me, you have access to over 50 guest replays, you have access to the Introduction to Design course. I'd like to add more courses into there, everything. Um, yeah. So what happened was it used to include um, co-working and accountability and everything in there too, but I found that a lot of people weren't utilizing that part. So I pulled that out. I dropped the price a whole lot at the beginning of this year, in hopes to make it more accessible, in hopes to help encourage people to join. And um, I don't think it's necessarily done that. And in some senses, I think it has downplayed the value in there. And there's this weird psychology thing in our brain where when we aren't paying as much for something, we don't use it as much. When, it's like, oh, it's only $9 a month. Like, I'll get to that, like next year. Or you just keep telling yourself, I'll work on it next month. Because it's like, I'm not paying that much for it. That's like, the price of a pattern. Um, so for that and for the sustainability of maintaining it, and especially for being able to add more to it, more courses and everything, um, I'm going to increase the price. But before I do that, I want to give you the chance to join. Like the whole point of dropping the price, right? So the price will be increasing to $27 a month, um, which is closer to what it was before. And yeah, that was supposed to happen at the end of this month. But I wanted to, have all this other stuff leading up to it. Okay, so another big thing is that I wanted to give this another big, I don't, I really wanted to share what Pattern Design Circle is really about. And um, I feel like the last 3 years or more. I haven't been able to do that. I had a really big project that ended up taking more of my time and energy from the rest of my business than I had anticipated. And then I got really burnt out after that project, and it was, yeah, anyway. And then being pregnant and sick and miserable for 9 months, and then now, navigating with the baby. I just feel like I haven't done the program justice in my marketing. Um, And I really want to do that. Like I want to do that for myself, um, to really feel good about it, to feel like I gave it my all, like that you really understood what it's about. So that's another reason why I don't want to just be like, okay, end of the month, price is increasing, because I want to tell you about it. I want to share all about it. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is because A, real life to show you like, hey, things don't go according to plan. You can continue to pivot, you can continue to change. But the biggest thing for me right now is like wanting to keep true to like my intention. So it's sure, I'm wanting to get more people in there. I'm wanting to make this more financially sustainable. I'm wanting to make sales for the money's sake in my business right now. But more than that, I'm wanting to really put my best foot forward. I'm wanting to, and not like in a perfectionist sort of way, but in a, I can feel good about what I've shared with you. I can feel like I actually told you what this is about. Like right now, the sales page is, um, like a temporary sales page because the actual sales page on my website doesn't 100% reflect what the community is, what the membership is now. And so I'm, redoing the sales page in the midst of all of this rebranding and everything. Um, and so yeah, it's really kind of honoring what my intention is. And so that just for you also, remember what's the purpose? What is the actual intention? Um, the plans that you've created, the deadlines that you've set, the all of the things that you're wanting to do, what is the intention? And so when things don't go according to plan, when you're like, oh, basically the last 3 weeks, I feel like I haven't done what I was supposed to do. I've been working on other things that I'm excited about too, but um yeah, uh when that happens, pay attention to what you need to push for most. Do you push for that deadline most? Is that what's most important? Do you push for those sales most? Because honestly, sometimes we have to do that in business. Like in order to keep the business alive, in order to pay for water and electricity and food and all of those things. That is totally valid. Um, and maybe like you just know that for yourself, you need to honor that deadline and do it. But sometimes maybe it's the deeper intention, the deeper thing that's more important to you is something like educating, inspiring, empowering, whatever it is. So, yeah, I really want to feel like I have given you value talking about marketing, talking about selling, talking about storytelling, talking about the power of storytelling, all of those things. And I want to have the marketing challenge. Um, and I want to feel like I've really told you what Pattern Design Circle is about before. That's the main thing before I raise prices. I guess I might be able to, I might feel okay with doing the challenge after prices increase. But I really want to have that sales page up and together for you. So that, and then have some emails to really tell you what this is about and if it's a good fit for you. Because I am doing you a disservice if this is exactly what you're needing. And like I know this is so powerful for so many people. If this is what you're needing and like you don't realize that this is actually the solution that's going to help you so much, um, I'm doing you a disservice by not telling you about it. So, I, okay, ultimately, the big thing I want to do in life and in my business is help people. If I did not have to worry about the money at all, I would not. Um, I just want to help. I want to make things easier and clearer and more strategic and more aligned and more intentional. And I just want to like help you live your best life and be the happiest version of you in your life and your business. Like that's what I want, okay? Um, and so that I guess that's why it's so important to me to really showcase what is Pattern Design Circle and who does it actually help so that if that's you, you're not left struggling longer than you need to, longer than you should. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess this is an invite if you want to join Pattern Design Circle, if you want to check out the current sales page, which is like basically nothing on it. I mean, that's not true. It outlines exactly what's in there. But it doesn't speak to how do you know if this is going to be helpful. It doesn't speak to the transformation. It doesn't have those elements that really, um, build that connection and um, confidence, I guess. It's really just a list. So if you're like, okay, I already know that I need to learn about these topics, um, it might help there. I don't have all of the topics outlined, like the guest speaker topics. But yes. So that's where we're at. I guess also as a little update, like my branding behind the scenes for full circle entrepreneurship is complete. Finally, as of this week. But I still need to like now go through and implement it. So that's like all of like the brand voice, brand values, brand colors, brand aesthetic, brand, all of these things. And yeah, so um and like I've created podcast update, I guess. I've created a list, a series of podcast episodes to have and everything. But I really want to get some of this other stuff done and wrapped up before I commit to podcasting regularly again. So, in the meantime, I might just do more of this kind of thing. Maybe I'll end up, I shouldn't say this because now I'm just saying more work for myself in a sense. But maybe we'll end up with like two podcast episodes a week in the future. One that's like the planned content and one that's more of like a rambly kind of updates thing. I don't know. But for now, maybe the podcast will be less polished, less intentional in the sense of having a very specific plan and purpose for every piece of content. That's real. That's why I took the pause on the podcast was I was like, okay, I really want to have a goal mapped out. I want this to have meaning and intentionality, um, purpose. But with like this episode and I think the last one, I've like gone the opposite direction where I'm like, okay, I'm just like sharing what's on my mind, kind of thing, which serves like that's valuable too in its own way. It's just a very different thing, and that doesn't achieve what I was, what I'm wanting to do with the podcast necessarily, but it allows me like I just love podcasting so much. I love talking like this so much. So anyway, I hope this wasn't too much just about me and my business and all of that. What I'm really trying to share with you is yes, there's a lot going on behind the scenes so that I can provide value for you and help you. So I really have it mapped out like, okay, this is the order to go in to help you. Like I'm gonna build out funnels at some point. Like I have so many funnels I want to build out to help you no matter where you're at, so that you get the right thing at the right time. Um, anyway, okay. If you can go ahead and check out the poll that I have in the email, and let me know if you are a knit or crochet pattern designer, if you are another fiber industry person, so like a yarn shop owner, a yarn dyer, a tech editor, that kind of thing in the knit or crochet industry, but not a designer. Or if you are not any of the above, you're a creative business owner. Let me know so that I can segment my list easily enough because this list started as like four knit and crochet pattern designers and then it's broadened over like the last year, and I haven't segmented that part. And who knows, maybe you joined as a designer 5 years ago and 4 years ago, I think maybe 4 years ago is when this list was started. Um, and now you're not a designer anymore, but you still are a creative entrepreneur doing something else. Yeah, anyway, just click that link and that will segment you on my list so that you get the emails that you're most interested in. And what that means is that if you're a knitting pattern designer, you'll receive like the specific information about the marketing challenge, the pattern design circle, that kind of thing. If you say you're one of the other categories, you won't receive as much information. I'll just send you the bits about marketing and stuff that are helpful to you. Um, there was one other thing. Oh, since I think I'm going to just put this on the podcast, and probably on YouTube because I have the podcast videos on YouTube as well. If you're on listening to this on the podcast or the YouTube channel and you're not signed up for my emails, I'll pop that link down below, and I will also maybe put the link to this email that I'm referring to, this specific email associated with this video, uh, in there as well so that you can answer the survey. But I'm not sure if that you might have to sign up for the email list first in order for that to make sense because it won't know that you're a person. I mean, it won't have your email address already in the system. So, alrighty, I hope that you are, whatever you're doing, keeping aligned, keeping intentional, whatever your summer looks like. If you're doubling down, if you are, um, uh, I just had another random thought that I think I'm gonna insert earlier into the video. Um, if you are doubling down, if you are doing deep behind the scenes work, if you are taking a break for the summer, if you are, leveling it down, lowering down the power for the summer to 50%, whatever you're doing, I just hope that you are staying intentional, that you remember your purpose, your why, your mission. You are in alignment so that this is feeling good for you. And you can kick away that imposter syndrome. You can kick away all of those shoulds and everything that you might be facing internally or externally, so that you can keep on your path that's intentionally for you. Okay. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching these rambles. I'm excited to chat again soon.